Moving on to Wrath of the Berserker, which increases damage dealt by 40%, reducing the duration of silence, stuns, slows, roots, and polymorphs effects against you by 50%. Lasts 15 seconds and extends by 1 second for every 10 fury gained. Basically, more or less what it is, you will go in what a lot of people know as more or less a bloodlust form, berserker form, increasing your damage, reducing any slow stun effects by 50%, which means those stun effects that will originally stun you for 3 seconds will be 1.5, slow you for 5 seconds, it'll be 2.5, and sorry, that kind of threw me off. Minecraft, I will be with you in a sec. Anyways, moving on. Next is Stitches. We're gonna jump into Stitches with his Q hook ability, kind of like this spear ability. Pull the first enemy hit towards you, and temporarily stunning them and dealing 91 damage. What the hook will do, it'll hook them and it will bring them to you, stunning them, dealing that damage, bringing them into you guys instead of you going to them. So the hook ability gonna be useful. Mixed with his slam ability, deals 96 damage to enemies within the target area. Basically, it'll have an arc in front of you, dealing that slam damage. Whoever's caught within that arc in front of you will take that 96 damage. Just giving Stitches a little more damage options, kill potential more or less. His E ability is his Devour, deal 319 damage to non-heroic units or 114 damage to heroes, restoring 20% of your maximum health. So, as basically you could see his little stomach area, he will devour you in his stomach. Ew, I know, that's gross, but that's Stitches for you. It deals 319 to non-heroic units, meaning minions. You cannot devour a boss. That is not possible. It's not going to happen. Bosses are so much bigger than Stitches. Don't even try. But it will deal 114 damage to heroes, and they will stay in your stomach for about 2 to 3 seconds, I believe, restoring 20% of your maximum health for as long as they are devoured. Moving on to his passive, his Vile Gas. When damaged, Stitches emits a gas cloud that persists for 4 seconds. Enemies who enter it are poisoned for 72 damage for 3 seconds. So as Stitches gets hit, he will basically, I guess you can say, he will fart on you, for lack of a better term. Or he will create that poison gas cloud around him every time he gets hit, and it will damage heroes that stay within that cloud over 3 seconds. Moving on to his heroic, his Putrid Bile ability emits a bile that deals 37 damage per second to enemies within, slowing them for 35%. You gain 20% movement speed while emitting bile, lasts 8 seconds. Basically, this is not him farting, but straight crapping on the whole battlefield. He will emit the bile behind him as he walks away or walks towards you. Anybody who walks into the bile will be slowed by that 35%, and you gain 20% movement speed as you are emitting this bile. So, more or less, like I said, Stitches is shitting on the battlefield as he's either engaging you or moving away from you. And if you are within this bile, you will be slowed. His next heroic ability is Gorge. consume an enemy hero, trapping them for 4 seconds. When Gorge ends, the enemy hero takes 274 damage. The trapped hero cannot move or act and doesn't take damage from other sources. This is kind of like the Devour ability, but instead you can use it more on heroes. Note that it says cannot be used on massive heroes, such as, I believe it cannot be used on Diablo, Artanis, Chen, Johanna, Cho'Gall, and I'm not really sure who else. I would actually have to get that list for you guys. But this will gorge them for about 3 seconds, take them in. They will be within this devoured stomach for about 3 seconds. You can take them anywhere you want. Once you spit them out, dealing that 274 damage, and basically you can spit them out, at towers, at your teammates, getting ready to do that damage. But we'll look into that when we go more into Stitches and his talents. Moving on to Tyrael real quick. Tyrael, very good warrior, been with us since day one. We all love him. His Eldron's Might deals 110 damage to enemies within the target area, slowing them by 25%. Reactivating this will teleport you to the blade and slow nearby enemies for 25%. More or less what he does is he throws his sword within a small target area. Anybody who's hit by the sword will be slowed, and if it's reactivated, you will be teleported to the sword location and further slowing enemies by 25% who are not already slowed by the initial effect. W Righteousness ability shields him for 319 damage and nearby allies for 128 damage for 4 seconds. Basically, his shield can be used at any time. Used for his tankiness, should be used as much as possible, shielding that damage for you and your allies. His next smite ability, rake the target area for 114 damage. Allies moving through the targeted area gain 25% increased movement speed for 2 seconds. So more or less, smite will basically rake the area in an arc in front of you, and any allies that move through that area will increase their movement speed by 25% for 2 seconds. Moving on to his passive, Angel's Wrath. When you die, you become invulnerable and explode for 456 damage after 3.5 seconds. What that means is it's kind of more or less like Leoric's Death Wraith ability, except it only lasts for 3.5 seconds, and you will explode after those 3.5 seconds within a huge area. So you will be able to deal that last bit of damage at the end of a team fight if you happen to die during the team fight. Very useful, very scary. You gotta keep this in mind when you're fighting Tyrael. If you forget about it, it could just absolutely wipe your team. It could cause a win on a team fight, or it could cause an immediate loss. So don't forget about Archangel's Wrath, children. Of course, his first heroic ability is Judgment. After 0.75 seconds, charge an enemy hero, dealing 100 damage and stunning them for 1.5 seconds. Nearby enemies are knocked away and take 50 damage. More or less, he will charge somebody, stun them, knock back anybody who's within the way, dealing that damage to that initial hero and giving them that 1.5 second stun. Just used as a huge initializer, doing that damage, doing that stun when he absolutely needs to. And if used correctly while he's dying and proccing his Archangel's Wrath, that stun could be really detrimental to that 3.5 second Archangel delay that will come from the Wrath. Of course, his second heroic ability is Sanctification. After 0.5 seconds, create a field of holy energy that makes allied heroes invulnerable. Lasts 3 seconds. More or less self-explanatory. Sanctification, it'll make any allies within the area invulnerable for 3 seconds, causing them to take absolutely no damage, no stun effects, no slows, no anything, and just giving you that little edge in a team fight if you are going to need it. Again, that's Tyrael, and that's the end of the Warriors. So we are done, guys. Yeah, moving on to support next. We're going to have a great time. I love playing supports personally. Gonna start off with Brightling, moving on to Karazim, Lily, Lieutenant Morales, Malfurion, Rhaegar, Tassadar, and then finally Tyrande. So we will come back to you with another episode on those 8 support heroes next time on Learn2Play Heroes of the Storm. Of course, if you liked what you saw, give me feedback, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Feedback is great. I thrive off of it. I love it. I do this for you guys. I want you guys to understand it. If you have a certain character that you absolutely want me to go through before any other character, I can absolutely do that if we get enough votes to do so. Otherwise, when I get to that point, I will just be doing a bunch of random characters and random orders and their talents, showing some gameplay, showing some footage, and ultimately helping you guys be better players, so that we can all be better players, so that we can all get past that Hero League rank 30 that everybody absolutely dreads. But anyways, this is J-Dogging. Learn to play Heroes of the Storm Warrior Edition. Peace out, guys.